It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast, your one-stop shop to dominate fantasy baseball and football. Come get some. Yo, baby, yo, here we go. Let's start the show. It's the Stack Attack Fantasy Podcast. I'm your host, Jeff Trella, and with me, as always, my brother from another mother. It's Trader Andy. What's up, dude? How you doing today?
What's up, man? You got another ugly shirt, huh? That's beautiful.
Bro, this is the ugliest one I could find.
Yeah,
This is a Dolphins one, bro. I'm ready to go.
And you better hope no cops come in here and make you take off those glasses, see how drunk you are.
Yeah, I forgot. I broke them again. Second time. Whatever, man. I got to buy a new pair of sunglasses before Jamaica, man.
Happy Father's Day, man. How's your day going?
Same to you. So far, so good, man. I got no complaints. I think Nick got a couple of complaints, though, because he's behind, man. You know, we're running a live business over here, running a live show. We're up against Hell in the Cell today, and this guy shows up late.
He had a flat tire. He had a flat tire broken down on Route 9. Route 9's horrible. So
it's the worst.
Yeah.
All right. So Andy, let's talk about this before Nick gets here, because you know we've known each other since birth. It's Father's Day, so you know sports and dads kind of go hand in hand. So tell me something about Jerry, man. Let's talk about Jerry first, and we'll talk about Bob second, and let's talk Father's Day and how our dads influenced us in sports. And anybody in the chat, if you got a story, bring it on for us, man. We'd love to hear it.
All right. Well, obviously, for people who know me, I'm a little crazy, got a lot of energy all the time. I'm very intense. Everything I do, I'm fired up about doing it. So back in the day, I think it was 8th grade church league basketball. We were in a big tournament. And my dad, being the intense person that he was riding the referee. All right. And he actually got ejected, got 2 technicals, and got thrown out of the game. Problem was, he wasn't the head coach. He was a spectator. So he got thrown out from the stands. And that's what it goes. I mean, he's just that type of guy. He was just, he calls out a season. And the guy was wrong, and he kept on calling him out. And he started getting technical fouls. And the coaches look, I didn't say anything. He's like, no, that guy behind him. So, yeah. That was hilarious.
And Jerry probably gave him an earful that lasted about a half an hour, right?
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, but that's my dad. That's my dad. Love you, Pops.
That's awesome. Now, what about your dad's influence on you as a sports fan and your teams?
Oh, well, I was when I grew up.
Because start over. When I met you, you were wearing a Dan Marino jersey. Let's start with that. And I got an incriminating picture of you in a Yankee shirt too. So, well,
the thing is with I'm going to talk about baseball first because that's my thing. But I was drafted my first Little League team New York for the Yankees. So I'm going to be a Yankee. I like Don Mattingly too. So I was like, I'm going to be a Yankee fan. So I was wearing this all Yankee shirt, being all good in this. Obviously, I was a bad kid, and I never listened to my parents. And Willie Randolph was signing autographs at the Cooper's Field. So I was like, oh, I really want to go see Willie. I really want to see Willie. I was a bad boy. So my dad took the advantage of me being a bad boy and goes, listen, I'll take you to meet Willie, but tomorrow you're a Met fan. And after that, it's all downhill from there.
Oh, man, that's great.
What about you? Tell me a story about Bob.
Well, see, my dad didn't have the luxury that your dad did of being at most of my games. And between you and I, and I never told him about this. My favorite memory was, I was a pretty decent ball player in high school, and he didn't get to go to many of my games because they're at 3:45 in the afternoon, and most parents are at work at that time, and he was on call 24 hours a day for the most part. But there was one day that I went 4 for 4, and I looked up, and his car was in left field, and I just got choked up like I am right now. He snuck away from work, and I never talked to him about it. It was amazing. And it was like one of the most touching moments of my life that he was there at that moment. Shit.
Oh man.
Fuck.
Wow.
But just taking it back, that touched me so much. But that's how he's always been. He's the guy that is kind of always been behind the scenes doing for you, not in your face, just always there. But my favorite, absolute favorite sports story, and I have two of them, and I can't say one of them because it's like taboo with me and him, and we can't talk about Leon Lett ever again. But you could hit me up privately, and I'll tell you that story. I know you know it, Andy. But in 1986, 87, the Giants were in the Super Bowl, and it was the first time they were in a Super Bowl. And I was born in 75, so I was 11, 12 years old, whatever it is. And this is their first time in the Super Bowl with Phil Simms and all that. And they're playing the Broncos. And my father, like I don't know what the hell he's thinking, decides to quit smoking like a week before the game, right? So this is the Super Bowl, and my father quit smoking. So my house is like laced with chocolate everywhere. There's chocolate, you don't know, absolutely everywhere. We got sick as a dog. We're all thrown up at the end of the game. The Giants won the game. I think it was 38-20, 39-20, something like that. But I'll never forget that day because my father was the most stressed out human being on the face of the earth, needed a cigarette and couldn't do it because he had quit like a week before, like a moron. But that's the decisions we all make. The good news is, to this day, whatever it is, 40 years later, 35 years later, still hasn't smoked a cigarette since. So Dad, thanks for that. We appreciate that. Thanks for looking after your health and keep doing that for us, because we love that. Right.
Absolutely.
All right, Andy. So let's talk a little bit about the positives, the negatives, etc., whatever. So we always start our show off with a victory lap. So why don't you take one right now?
All right. Well, here's a very crazy thing here, because the catching position is usually really bad, but I've been riding this guy for a couple of years now, Salvador Perez. He has become the elite hitting catcher in baseball. Guy's batting .310 between the 2 years combined in 105 games. Got 29 home runs, 78 RBIs, a .340 on base percentage. He's just getting better as he gets older. It's like a fine red wine.
Nice.
So,
all right. Oh, so I have to take a victory lap because Nick's not here?
If you need to, yeah.
All right, I'm going to take a family lap because today I spent the day with my parents and my brother and everything. Yo, my niece, as a pitcher, she's 13 years old. I caught for her today, like maybe 45, 50 pitches. She's nasty, bro. Like
throwing gas.
I was shocked. I was shocked. The last time that I worked out with them on the ball field, her and little Bobby.
Yeah.
They were pretty good and they were getting there and whatnot and everything. And then a pandemic hits and all this, but she's been working with a personal coach and everything. And dude, she's got a curveball, a riser, a fastball, a changeup. I'm like, I was blown away, man. So that's my victory lap, man. I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to go watch her pitch and watch little Bobby play again. So, here we go, man, with that. And I know that your day's coming with Andrew as well, too. So,
all right.
So, yep. Well, with every victory lap, there's always an end. And let's take a crash and burn.
Well, based on before today's news popped about him going to the DL, my crash and burn, Austin Gomber. Once he got traded from the Cardinals to the Rockies, I wrote him off. All right. So then he has been amazing over the past 2 months. He's been amazing. He's got a 1.05 whip, 3.5 ERA, and he's actually had 2 horrible starts, 9 runs and a 5-run game. And both of them came away from Coors Field on the road only. He's been home. He's been a monster. And my crash and burn is I wrote him off. I didn't give him a shot. And he's definitely helping people to the top of this today. What do you think about him?
Well, I mean, you can't really crash and burn now because we just learned a few minutes ago he's on the injured list. So it kind of worked out for us, at least from a redraft perspective. But I can't make any sense of this. Like Austin Gomber is, everybody made fun of him because he was basically the cornerstone of the Nolan Arenado trade. So he got laughed around the corner for that. And you just talked about how he had 2 bad starts and both of them are on the road. That start against San Francisco, where I think it was a inning and a third, and he gave up 9 earned runs. And we actually on Twitter coined a phrase called "You got Gombered," right?
Yep.
You got Gombered, and we still use that phrase to this day. And it's basically just means that you tried to stream a pitcher that was in a great matchup. He had a 2-start matchup that week. The first was at San Francisco, which is a huge ballpark. And the other was, I don't know, Baltimore or some crap like that, something easy. And he just completely shat himself and left us all like scared to death of what's going to happen later in the week because he's stuck in our lineups. And now we have to see him twice. Right. So I don't know, man. Like he coined a new phrase, getting Gombered. The guy is an enigma that I really haven't been able to figure out. All right. So he had the 2 bad starts. He had a 5.06 road ERA and a 1.48 home ERA.
Wow.
That worked out. I think you just said to a 3.6 overall. If you take out the 9 earned runs in one game, it comes out to a 2.5. So that's way above league average, right?
Yeah.
And I tried to look into this, like, why is he having such success in Coors Field? He is basically an extreme fly ball pitcher and throws the ball inside. So he's in extreme. He gives up pull fly balls more than anything else. Antonio Senzatella, who is not as successful as him, is an extreme ground ball pitcher that throws the other way, and he doesn't have close to these numbers. So it doesn't really make sense to me because this guy's a profile fly ball pitcher. His hard hit rate is league average, but his walk rate is very good compared to league average at only 7.3%. So I think when you look at today's baseball, it's a world of home runs, freaking strikeouts, and walks. So if you could eliminate the walk from your equation, you're going to be successful. And that's what it turns out to be, right? So I think that's what's making him successful is he doesn't put a lot of runners on base. He's a great control pitcher. He throws the ball in the strike zone. He doesn't give up a lot of barrels. Like if there's not guys on base, it doesn't matter where you pitch. Like you're going to get around it and it's going to work out. We got to look into this arm injury. That's kind of
scary.
A problem too. Elbow issues are always scary, but the bigger crash and burn right now is this guy coming onto the road, man. Because we're like 15 minutes into this, and this dude, you're not getting the key spot. You go back to your home up in the corner. And I don't know, man. I don't know if we should skip your victory lap, go straight to the crash and burn, whatever it is. But Mr. Nick Mimi, welcome to the microphone.
What's up? My crash and burn is my 1 hour of sleep in the last 48 hours.
So basically what you missed is, we can't figure out Austin Gomber. I cried for a little bit.
You did.
I shed a tear, man. It was great.
Good boy.
But I can't add a rant. I can start with a rant right now about Nick showing up 15 minutes late. But I mean,
let's do it.
Hey.
Oh, you look more awake than usual, though.
Yeah, well, I worked a 12-hour overnight shift last night. I came home. I slept an hour. I had to wake up an hour later, watch my daughter, drive her up to North Jersey, hour and a half traffic, and back down. And my wife got a flat. It's great.
Flat tire at the end of the day. That's
it's awesome. It's awesome. Now she needs a new tire.
All right. So is that your crash and burn for today?
That is my crash and burn. That's my crash and burn.
You want to take a victory lap or just
I do.
skip it? Oh,
I do.
Let's do it, man.
This week,
Go.
so I'm
Throw
in
something.
the Turnpike Fantasy Baseball League, and my team has had a dramatic boost this week, going from actually like 14th place to now 8th place. Fernando Tatis, DJ LeMahieu really coming through for me, and I need some pitching. My pitching is hurting bad. What?
Andy, did he just take an 8th place victory lap?
I did. I came up 6, 7 spots.
He's really tired.
Yeah.
We should just mute him.
Andy, what on earth are you drinking? Is that an explosive?
What
Are
the
you
hell
drinking
is that?
C4?
Oh,
Isn't that
is that
explosive?
pre-workout? Is that pre-workout?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Oh,
working out right
no.
now, bro. Let's go. I'm about to do it when I do my rants.
You get that treadmill in the background.
Oh.
All right, Andy, you got all the energy, so let's bring it, man. What do you got for me today?
I got 2 rants. We're going to start off with the first one. Okay. And this one's going to be a little comical, but it's true. Okay. Obviously, there's parties, family parties, get togethers at houses and everything. Okay. So obviously, you're going to be at different people's houses. You have to go to the bathroom, whatever. If you blow up someone's bathroom, these work. Spray the effing bathroom. Spray the bathroom. Dude, people stop doing it, man. This is crap. I threw out my. Hold up. So I got so mad, I ripped off the things off my ear. How you gonna blow up somebody's bathroom, not spray? What are you doing? Show some respect.
It's inconsiderate.
Dude, could I ask her a name?
No. I'm just making a general statement. Meaning there might be multiple. So.
All right. So spray after you do it. All right.
Spray after you drop it there.
You drop a douche, you gotta freaking handle it, man. Come on.
Let it loose.
So the second one I'm gonna talk about is obviously I'm coming very close to winning a couple leagues, and it's getting near that time where you're trying to you're trying to make some trades. So people, you gotta look at your trades. You have to make a comment. Don't just leave it there for 6 days in a box. Say yes, say no. If you send a trade offer, look at my team before you make a stupid offer. I mean, I don't need stolen bases. Why are you offering me stolen bases? Why? Look at your team. Show a little effort and respond. People annoy me without the responding. I'm done. I'm gonna drink a little more.
All right.
I can't add to that. I think that's pretty spot on. I've been pissed off about that in the past. Like you got it's and I know sometimes I'm slow to respond to people. I mean, I'm in 17 baseball leagues, actively in 5 dynasty football leagues, and God knows what the hell else I'm in. So I'm juggling a couple dozen leagues at a time. So sometimes I might take 2-3 days to respond, but I always respond. And even if somebody sends me a bad offer, I always say, hey, thanks. That doesn't fit my needs. But, at least I appreciate that you looked at it. I had a guy recently. I have a league that I'm in. It's actually my highest buy-in league out of all of them for baseball. And I'm in 4th place right now. And I think 3 teams get paid. And I'm in dead last in stolen bases. Just hasn't worked for me. And I put it on the block out there and said, I'm looking to trade power for speed. And one of the guys comes back to me with, he wants my Ryan McMahon for his Jazz Chisholm. And I'm like, okay, let me think about this. Did some homework, asked some questions to some friends, everything came up with, I don't really trust where Chisholm's at with his ankle. I don't think he's going to run that much. He's trying to be RJ McMahon right now. So that's not the right player for me, but you had the right idea, right? Somebody else sends me, he wants my Anthony Rendon for Jonathan VR. And I'm like, come on. Right?
Be back on the bench in 3 days.
Come on. What the hell is that? I'm smarter than that. Don't you know that I host a podcast that like 8 people watch a week? Come on, man. Do better than that.
7. Let's not overachieve here.
7? No, there's 8 right now, man. Dad, and dad. So
all right. It's Father's Day.
All right. So let's get into some baseball talk here. So Andy, you're our baseball guy. So why don't you lead us off? The injuries have been pretty bad this this year and at least on my end, they feel like they're multiplying. So let's talk through some of these injuries and how they're affecting fantasy teams right now.
This week, we only have a little bit of time here to talk. This is ridiculous. I mean, you know how many injuries there were this week, but Max Scherzer, obviously, he had a minimum groin. He had an injury. He's only going to be off for 10 days. He'll be back early this week. Supposedly, DeGrom is supposed to be pitching tomorrow. I'm worried about it. It's 2 different injuries in the past 3 weeks. I'm very, very worried about him making it through the year to win another Cy Young. Then you got Glass now. That's a sticky situation right there because you guys didn't even laugh when I said that, man. Because
I got it.
He actually admitted that he's used sticky stuff his entire career. Not using it is why he got the elbow injury. That's the reason. I just think it's hilarious. You know, he said all pitchers cheat. It was hilarious, but that conversation was amazing. But he's going to be late August. They said he should be coming back, which is better than having Tommy John surgery, which you could die from, by the way.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. I saw some college kid had Tommy John surgery and died this week from complications. So don't throw those fastballs and sliders so hard. And then Jeff's boy Bellinger. You know, he's got 1 home run this year. He's coming back. He's running full 100% this week. He's going to be back this week, probably tomorrow or the next day. It's just been a disastrous season for him. Bregman, you know, he's got a little bit of a issue as well with a quad. He's going to be out probably 3-4 weeks, I think. You know, he hasn't done anything to really, really boost your team, but he's been solid. Then you got another one of Jeff's boys, Nicky Madrigal. Gone. RIP. Batted 305 this year, so he was close to what you were talking about, especially when the league's batting 230. He's batting 305.
I'll tell you what, though, Andy, I'm going to interrupt you there. I'm in 17 leagues, and he's a core player, and I probably have him in 17 leagues, right? So it hurts, and you put yourself in a situation where I have to go to the waiver wire on several teams, and there's nobody there better than Nicky Lopez, right? It's bad, but I drafted for batting average this year, and Madrigal did that, and he helped me with that, but he wasn't doing a damn thing else, right? He was supposed to be getting me to 20-25 stolen bases. He had 1. So the truth is that he kind of did me a favor by getting hurt, because I should have cut him, because in most of my leagues, I don't need the batting average anymore. But I was holding on because he's my guy, and I was waiting for those stolen bases that weren't coming, and just enjoying the 2 home runs when they did, and the 1 fake one that didn't happen. So I should have cut bait anyway. So he did me a favor there. So sorry to interrupt you, as you were.
No problem. I'm coming down to the end here now anyway with Andrew Benintendi, who has a fractured rib. He should be back late next week, so it's not as bad. He's having a good year. I like what he's doing, so I like him for the rest of the year. So that's it. No more MASH report.
You basically just explained my TGFBI team. You left out Adam Eaton. You left out Josh Donaldson.
Well, Donaldson's going to be back. I thought it was just a day or 2. It didn't seem crazy.
This is what the problem is with these guys. You set your lineup all right. So NFBC, you set your lineup on Monday. You could reset your lineup on Friday for hitters only, right? A lot of other leagues are daily lineups, whatever it is, weekly lineups. These guys are going on the disabled list on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. You don't know nothing in advance. You don't pick anybody up. You're not ready for them on your bench. And the next thing you know, you got a 0 for 3 days, 4 days, 7 days, whatever it is. And that happened to me like 7 times. Adam Eaton, Nick, went on the DL on nowhere. Freaking, the day after, right?
Out of nowhere.
Whatever it was. Josh Donaldson, Tuesday. Oh, yeah, I'm hurt. No problem. You can't do anything. Waivers ran already, right? You can't do anything about it. Our home league has no damn bench, so you're screwed if that's what it is. Thankfully, waivers runs twice a week because there's an intelligent GM that commissioner that knows what he's doing and sets it up that way. But half the time these guys, you're put in a dead spot. Like, there's got to be a way to figure this out. And I know Fantrax has it, but you have to have a system where you could set your lineup daily, but with kind of a weekly ting to it. So that you can only adjust it if somebody goes on the DL or sent to the farm or whatever it might be, or day off. But if they're active, they have to stay in your lineup. There's got to be some kind of hybrid way to do this, because I can't keep up. I can't. It's the end of the world. Like 5 guys on my TGFBI team went down this week after everything ran. 5 out of 30. Like 1 out of 6 guys done, and I can't do nothing.
I mean, you could do something about you could do something about that shirt, but you still wear it. I mean, I don't understand.
There's some choices that we make, some choices we choose not to make. And I love my shirt. And I love my sister, who says Happy Father's Day to us.
I know, I waved at her.
So appreciate that, Trace. Appreciate that. Absolutely. All right, Andy, let's get out of the injuries and let's talk a little bit of the waiver wire. So, in most situations, the waiver wire runs late tonight. Maybe if you're in the NFBC, it runs in what, an hour, 2 hours, something like that.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, 2 hours, whatever. So
who do you like on there?
Myself. It's not a great week, man. It's not a great week. But what do you think about Mr. Sanchez from the Marlins? Got called up again. He's been struggling. Hit a home run last night. I think he was 1 for 38 or something like that before that. Killing it in the minors. Absolutely killing it in AAA this year.
350.
Yeah. What do you think? If you're in a redraft league, let's start that way. If you're in redraft, what are you doing with this guy? You picking him up or you're letting him go?
I'm going to let him go for now if it's a redraft and you're trying to win. The kid's not hot right now. You could find another guy who's a hotter bat at the moment. If it's a keeper league, then he's got some potential. I wasn't a big fan for him for the past couple of years. He's got a little bit too much swing and miss for me, but he does have some power and some speed potential. So I can see the reason why people would want to pick him up.
Right. Nick, any opinion on him, or you just moving on?
I have to pick him up. I mean, I'm putting a waiver in. I lost Donaldson. I lost Eaton. I have 4 first basemen on my team, so I can't even squeeze anybody around right now. So I'm actually copying and pasting your waiver article into my my ad drops right now as we speak.
That's what you do when you're on 1 hour of sleep.
Yep, that's what I do on 1 hour of sleep. You see the bags right here? Yeah.
That's funny because that article causes me to get 1 hour of sleep. So, oh my goodness.
Yep, I'm on it right now.
I work late nights. I get home from work between 1 and 2 a.m. on Saturdays, and I have to put together a relevant waiver wire article for Fantasy Six Pack. And it just sucks the life out of me. I got to do the work anyway because
you did the homework for me.
Yeah, that's my goal, man. I'm trying to do the work for you. So let's look at a couple other options. We talked about Nicky Madrigal getting hurt. So one of the guys that's out there is his replacement for the time being is Danny Mendick. Oh my God, I traded Danny Mendick in my 30-team league about 3 weeks ago. Like I traded this guy for him in a pick for Ty France, and I could have gotten away with anybody else on my team, but I gave him Danny Mendick, and then Madrigal, who was on my team, gets hurt. So I got double screwed on that. I messed up, and I'm trying to win that league. But Mendick, any interest by either of you on this guy, or are we just letting it go?
Let it go. You're better off with Ty France.
But if you're in a 15-team or greater league,
it fills a spot.
There's not that many people to choose from, man.
Yeah,
I'll blank. Leave it blank.
Honestly, Jeff, your top 3 in the your waiver article is basically the top 3 available on my TGFBI league right now. It's insane.
That's disgusting.
It's awful.
Right. That's disgusting.
And I need an outfielder. That's the problem.
You need an outfielder. Okay. So who's the other one you're looking at? Steven Duggar?
Duggar's gone.
Dugar, whatever it is.
Duggar, he's gone. Sanchez and Heredia from Atlanta.
Guillermo Heredia.
That's my only options.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah, and the 12 team leagues aren't that much better. It's a war of attrition. That's the thing, is that as players get injured, opportunities come up. But I mean, some of these guys that we're talking about here are just like below replacement level, and it's just ugly, man. And yeah, when you have a lot of teams, and when you're in large teams, whether it's 15 teams, 17 teams, 18 teams, or a 30 team league, or something with a long bench, 30 players on your roster, you're just in trouble when you get to this, and it's disgusting. I don't even know what to do. But
Would you
so
consider?
so,
would you
who's
consider?
who's the guy this week? Is it Sanchez or bust? Or do you like Andy said with Mendick, do you just leave the zero and just keep your money?
Oh, he's horrible. I can't do it, man.
I'm not even saying with Mendick. I'm saying all of them. Is it sometimes better to just take the zero and save your fab? I know, Andy, you got a league that you're like capped out on fab and you have nothing left and you have a couple of injuries. I know you're trying to make trades and whatnot, but is it better to just take a zero than to waste $1 on Steven Duggar?
I am. I'm taking a zero.
Duggar's not even available.
That's the crazy part.
Right.
Yep.
I don't know. All right, let's take the zero. All right, let's talk about a couple pitchers. Andy, we'll start with you because I know you like the prospects, and your boy Manning came up this week for the Tigers. He completed the triumvirate of prospects for Detroit, and the other two have been pretty good. I'm pretty happy with them overall. Scooble and what's his name, Casey Mize. So Matt Manning comes up. Successful first start. What do you think? Is this somebody you're going to pick up in a redraft?
Definitely. I actually thought that he was highly.
Making the ad right now.
Uh-oh.
Making the ad right now.
I thought he was better in Scooble and Mize in the minors. I thought he was going to be the best out of the three. So that's just me long term. I thought he was, but Casey Mize has really come along as well. But Manning, he had a big breakout in 2019. Had 11 wins, good amount of strikeouts. He's a solid pitcher. They're going to be their front three rotation for a while, and definitely worth an ad.
All right, so he's only 7% owned in the NFBC. So if you're in TGFBI or similar, he's probably available. So if you need the pitcher, they have $1,000 budget. Let's say you have $450 left. How much of that are you going to spend on Manning?
10 to 15%.
Okay,
I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to go crazy. I don't think people are going to go nuts with him. There should be a couple other guys coming up too that they're going to be waiting on. So you're not going to get any wins with the Tigers though. So that's one thing you have to realize.
That's my problem. That's
You
my
get the
problem.
ratios. That's it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not even sure about that with Manning, to be honest with you. He's just not my guy. I know you guys love him, but
I do.
I've never been a fan of him. He's always been a top 25 prospect. I never really personally felt that way. I'm going to let it go. At 17 teams, I'm going to go with 0 shares on this one. And, cross my fingers because I'm wrong all the time with stuff like this. But
He's going to throw a no-hitter this week.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Andy, I'm going to dig a little deeper, though, because I do have a rookie that I really do like that is not on the radar like Manning for the Minnesota Twins, and he's 15% owned in the NFBC, and that's Bailey Ober of the Minnesota Twins. What do you think about this guy?
That's a deep dive. That's a deep dive.
Yeah, what do you think about him? I don't. What's he going to do for you? Ratios,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, in 2019, he had 11.5 K per 9 rate, 79 innings, I believe it was, 100 strikeouts. His nice. ERA and his WHIP were both below 1, right? Wow. The guy dominated in 3 levels. He started at a rookie ball, then went to high A, double A, all in 1 year, the year he was drafted. And, he looked like a stud. And now 4 starts into this year, I think he has 17 innings pitched. His ERA is around 3. whip is right around 1. The K per 9 is right there. Like we said, he's showing everything. The Twins are steaming hot trash right now. They're in last place. They're like 9-10 games under 500, and their rotation is the reason for it. Maeda is garbage. This guy was finished second in the Cy Young last year, and nothing. He's terrible. The rest of the rotation, garbage, doing nothing. So this guy is going to get an opportunity to go. Unfortunately, he's kind of one of these pitchers. He should be on the Tampa Bay Rays, 4 to 5 innings per start. That's kind of what we're looking at for him. So the win equity is not there, but the team stinks anyway. So he's just an opportunity for $1 or $2 to plug and play if you need control on your ratios. If you're in a league like Andy, you and I are, where it is K per 9 instead of Ks, he's a gold mine. So he's somebody to pick up. I would much rather have him over Manning because I don't believe in Manning's win equity. I don't believe in either of their win equity, to be honest with you. But I'll take the guy that I'm comfortable is going to control the strike zone, strike batters out, and pitch to a low ERA. So
well, you have to realize that the wins will come with Byron Buxton back and hitting bombs. So we're ready to roll.
I just like to piggyback on one of our other rants and fights that we have regularly. And you notice that Trevor Larnach is settled into the role as the number 3 hitter for the Minnesota Twins.
Mm-hmm.
Well, AK-47 is,
no, he's not back. He's middle of the lineup. They're both going to be middle of the lineup.
Back half in the middle of the lineup.
He's bat 5th, man. He's bat 5th. So you have to realize that they're between Nelson Cruz, and that I've actually took a crash and burn on that because I actually feel that both players will be very, very good for them. And I'm not trying to be on one side or the other. I like them both. I've given in. I've come to the dark side with you.
All right, Andy, I'm going to go to the group chat for a second because our boy Pigbird asked a question. First off, he mentioned that he likes when I rant, and that's pretty much me at all times. So
I have intensity though. What's up with that?
I turn red. Yeah. I turn red.
It's a shirt.
He's asking about Alek Manoah. Are we done with this guy at least for this year?
No. Nope.
Nick, you look scared, like puzzled.
No. I think it's the bags.
What did he say? What? Big Bird, what?
I'm not. I'm never.
This guy's falling right into the line with Logan Gilbert. Logan Gilbert had 2 bad starts. I told you guys, be patient, and now he's their best pitcher. All right, and Manoah's going to come up. So he has this stuff. He just doesn't pitch a lot in his career. He's got the stuff. Be patient.
All right, I like it.
Yep.
Good advice.
And yes, we're all picking from the 10 spot.
Yes. Nice. All right, we'll talk about that later. All right, 2 other guys I want to recommend for the waiver wire this week. I don't know if you have any recommendations. 2 streamers I really like is Odorizzi and Ross Stripling. They both face the Orioles this week, both of them. And Odorizzi also faces, I believe it's the Tigers, and Stripling has Tampa Bay, which is my favorite team to pick on. The Tigers strike out the second most in the league, and Tampa Bay strikes out the most in the league by far, and the Orioles just suck in the middle.
No, you're wrong.
Not wrong. The Orioles suck.
Baltimore is actually on fire now. They're putting up some big runs. Obviously, Nick's boy, Cedric Mullins, is a monster. Mountcastle's hitting bombs. Mancini had a double dong. They're actually starting to come along. They're not an easy win, unless Matt Harvey's pitching. But, I mean, it's not an easy win. These guys are all hitting, and they're all hot right now, and they're both going to get lit up. Over easy. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, so he's going to lay an egg.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give you that, man. That was good. Happy Father's Day. I'll give you that one. All right. All right. So Andy, you mentioned before that, we were talking about Matt Manning and spending fab, and you said that they might be saving their money for some other players that might be coming up later on. who are some of these minor leaguers that you're looking at that might make an impact later on?
I gotta look into that real quick. I mean, I wasn't really prepared for that question, but most of the guys are up right now. But there'll definitely be some guys. Maybe the kid from the Yankees, Devi Garcia, he'll be up, and then Nate Pearson, he's gonna be coming up too. And those guys are all doing pretty well in the minors right now. So definitely with the bigger names, I think they're gonna go for some good fab.
Okay, cool. Any long-term minor leaguers you'd like to talk about?
Yeah. Guy okay. I was telling you guys about last October, November, and then everyone starts talking about him, but Tyler Soderstrom, the 19-year-old catcher from Oakland. His power is developing this year. He's got a 60 hit tool. Might not stay a catcher, but the bat is legit. He's hitting bombs. He's hitting lefties. I love the kid long term. You got probably 3-4 years for him, but the bat is special. All right. And then I have a sleeper guy who actually might come up this year. He's like 20 to 30 range for Arizona Diamondbacks, and he might actually help them get a win. So after they lost their 17th today in a row. Matt Tabor. He's in Double-A right now. He strikes out a guy more than one per inning. He was a high draft pick 2-3 years ago. He's moved all the way up to Double-A.
Oh, breaking news. Wander Franco is getting called up.
Wow, look at him. That's the most excitement I've seen for you ever, bro. Good job.
Ooh, Wander's coming, baby.
All right.
Go get him now.
What? What do you mean go get him now?
There's some leagues he's still available.
What league is this?
Like a 10-team league.
An ESPN league with your daughter's friends? Who? Come on, man.
That's great.
Wander's here, baby.
I think he's even owned by. I think he's even 100% owned in the NFBC.
He very well possibly could be.
I think
zero shares.
Yep, me too.
Yeah,
I got a couple.
Vidal Brujan definitely got cold too. That's why. And then Franco just flew up.
I've been holding all my money for Brujan, and here we go. Let down. All right, Andy. You like talking about these throwback players, and I've been taking a back seat and letting you take it because you're having fun with it. So
yeah, I love it
for us this week.
Absolutely, I love it. It's one of my favorite times of the pod, and I'm actually going to take a guy that it's one of your boys. All right, 2001, Roy Oswalt comes up with the Astros. Remember that? You had him on the team, dominating 14-3 record, he had a 2.73 ERA, and he was a monster. And he wound up getting, I think, 8 straight years of 10+ wins. He was dominating, and I think you had him most of the time.
Yeah, I remember our farm draft that year very well. I had pick 1 and pick 7. And I remember very specifically that pick 1, I took Adrian Gonzalez, and I don't regret it. Pick 7, I wanted to take a guy that I didn't think anybody knew of. And our boy Ed Neal, I don't know if he's watching. I hope he is. Took a gentleman by the name of Albert Pujols, right?
It's exactly how he said it too.
And then we turned it to Pujols. And you got to understand, back then we didn't have the internet. So we just looked at box scores and magazines, and that's how we found these players. And he we didn't know how to pronounce their name. So it was Pujols. And he took him, and I was pissed. And I settled for Roy Oswalt with the next pick. And, it worked out for both of us because he was a stud too. And I think Pujols outlasted Ed Neal in fantasy baseball by about 12 years.
Yeah,
I think he retired. Ed Neal retired about 8 years later, and Pujols is still going strong. So I don't know. All right, that's awesome. Nick, anything you want to talk about baseball, or you want to do a little bit of little football, little Scott Fishbowl first.
Oh, I'm ready for football.
All right.
But yeah, Wander Tuesday. It's happening.
Wander
We're
Tuesday.
here. We're here. I've been
So
sitting
he's
on it for
being
years.
called up on Tuesday.
Well,
For Tuesday start, yeah.
you haven't been here though. I mean, you said we're here. You weren't here for like 15
I wasn't
minutes.
here.
you were
I wasn't here. But I'm here. I'm here now. Yeah, we're here now. But Wander's coming.
But if he's going to be called up on Tuesday, that
Mhm.
means he's not going to be eligible anywhere he is available for Fab tonight.
Yeah, but like you said, he's 100%. He's 100% rostered in TGFBI.
Yeah.
Right. Of course.
I checked.
All right, let's do some football, man. Tell me what you got.
Scott Fishbowl. 3 of us are in the pick 10 spot. We've been mocking. We've been in some group chats. We've been we're roaring to go. I love the 10 spot this year. Actually, my league hasn't even filled up. We still have 3 people in it.
Really?
Yeah, only 3 people still in it. 10, 11, and 12 picks. So I might be getting all the new guys coming in because he
Either
said
getting the scraps or the famous people.
Well, yeah. Well, he said last week that everybody that has been in the fishbowl as of a few days ago has been placed in a league. So it sounds like you just said it, anybody famous or, who, I mean, I saw a huge wave go out today. So those guys maybe.
So explain why we're picking out of the 10 spot, Jeff. And who do you expect there?
Well, the reason we're in the 10 spot is because of the 3rd round reversal.
Yep.
So we're picking at the end of the 1st round, which so be it. It is what it is. But we're at the top of the 2nd and we're at the top of the 3rd. So it basically gives you the opportunity to, you could pick your position that you want to focus on and you're going to get a superstar. You're guaranteed to get a quarterback 1 in some way, shape, or form. Whether you take it in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, you're going to get somebody that you feel good about in your first quarterback spot. If you want a running back, you're going to get a running back. If you want to take a tight end, it's going to be there. You're going to have the ability to take Kittle or Darren Waller if that's what you so choose.
On the flip.
It's whatever you want. Like you could build your roster the way that you want to. I am personally, and Nick, I think you have something to say about this. I have a 5-round plan that I will guarantee myself that by round 5, I will have 0 wide receivers.
Yep. I'm in agreement.
I will have 2 quarterbacks, and I will have
2 running backs.
Probably a tight end, but definitely 2 running backs. So I'm going to have 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, and the 5th is kind of a flex to me, but it is not going to be a tight end.
It's BPA.
It might be a tight end. I'm sorry, I said it's not going to be a tight end. I mean, it's not going to be a wide receiver. It might be a tight end. It might be a running back. It's not going to be a receiver because you could get in the 6th round somebody as good as somebody like Keenan Allen.
Yeah, that's. I'm pulling on my draft last year. That's what I did last year. I didn't touch a receiver, and you know it. We were going back and forth. What was it? Round 6 or 7. I didn't touch one until, and my team was 8-4 and made the playoffs.
All right,
it's all about that quarterback play.
All right,
go ahead.
No, our last draft that we had the dynasty one. I went round 7 or round 8. I took up my first wide receiver. I'm okay with that.
All right, grid here. I'm pulling my draft up. So my draft last year. I took Tyler Lockett round 6, and I took Terry McLaurin round 7 last year.
Nice.
I started off Mahomes, Eckler, Murray. Darren Waller got sniped, so I took Evan Ingram. That hurt, and then David Montgomery. If I took Waller on my team, I'd probably make the entire semifinals of Scott Fish last year. Like that's how good I could have been last year. That hurt.
What do you think about Ingram?
What's that?
Yeah, what do you think about Ingram?
Ingram? I'm not touching him this year. No way. I'd rather touch Kenny Yeboah on the Jets, the undrafted guy. I'm not touching him. Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Rudolph is there. He's gonna take some thunder away.
All right. So I'm using this Scott Fish mock draft tool right now as we're talking, and from the 10 spot in the 1st round, here's what's available to me. So I'll read off how the first 9 picks went. McCaffrey, Mahomes, doesn't matter what order.
1, 2.
Kelsey, Allen, Cook, Kyler, Lamar, Dak, Saquon. Fairly chalk the order might be a little
Saquon's
off,
a little early. Saquon's a little early.
right? Okay, so here's what I'm looking at. So I have on the board for me Kamara, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Ezekiel Elliott, Nick Chubb, right? So those 5 running backs are all available. At quarterback, I could go from Herbert, Russ Wilson, or Aaron Rodgers, right? Those are the next 3. So I know that I pick again 5 picks later, right? So I have 5 superstar running backs available, 3 quarterbacks, right? So I'm never going to take Justin Herbert in the first round. I will not do it. You will. It's personal for me. So it's just a Herbert Tua thing, and I can't lose. So I'm never going there. So we're going to leave Kamara and Derrick Henry on the board, and we're going to take Justin Herbert just to see how this goes, right? So I got him. The next pick is Kamara. The next pick is Henry. Then the next pick is Tyreek Hill, then Jonathan Taylor, right?
All right.
So now I have Justin Herbert, so I can go quarterback again with Russell Wilson, or I can take Ezekiel Elliott or Nick Chubb, right? So let's just get myself a running back now to make sure. Zeke. So we're going to take Zeke.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could always experiment and take Russ, but I think you're going to get a good quarterback on the 3-4 flip right there.
I love how that comes out. I actually love how that comes out.
Herbert Wilson?
I've actually done this and gotten Dak and Russ, and it's beautiful.
See, I was spoiled last year with Murray and Mahomes. You're looking at a 50-60 spot every week, and then your zero wide receiver strategy is a home run.
Okay, so now the third round reversal comes to us, and we're looking at we have Herbert and Zeke, and on the board for us, if we want to go quarterback again, we could take Tannehill, Lawrence.
The home run.
I'm not taking Jalen Hurts or Matt Ryan.
I'm taking Tannehill.
So we could take Tannehill or Lawrence. So I'm
taking Tannehill.
Or if we want to go another route, George Kittle's still available.
Nope.
We're not going to take a wide receiver. The next running back is Cam Akers, but I think we might get away with that in the 4th round.
Question now: is Antonio Gibson still there?
Oh yeah, big time.
He's been slipping heavily in these drafts. And he's a big consideration for me at that 3 spot. I'd be curious to see if he falls to 4, but I doubt it.
All right. So we're going to take a quarterback and play it that way.
Take Tannehill here.
So we take Tannehill.
But that's the thing, too. If you go Russell Wilson and Justin Herbert, and now you get Gibson as your RB1, that's still just as good.
It's thinking.
You broke the system.
It's still thinking. All right, so we're up. Okay, so we have 2 quarterbacks and a running back. There's wide receivers at ADP now.
Nope.
We could take Hawkinson or Pitts if we want to go.
Pitts.
We want to go wide receiver or tight end.
Pitts is not bad.
And we did miss out on your guy, Antonio Gibson. He went in the 3rd. But if you want a running back, we still have Dobbins. We still have Jacobs. We still have Miles Sanders.
No.
Right?
So this is I would take Pitts here.
So you would take Pitts.
Yeah, I take Pitts and see where running back falls you on the flip.
So let's rewind a little bit. Would we be better off in the 3rd taking Kittle?
No.
And then taking one of these quarterbacks now.
Which quarterbacks are available?
Winston, Roethlisberger, Darnold.
No, give me Tannehill. Give me Tannehill.
I do really like Wentz though this year.
I do like Wentz a lot, but I think I like Tannehill. Okay. Even though I think they're going to run the Derrick Henry.
I like getting Pitts here though too.
I think Pitts here is a great pick, and I think that's consensus too. I think he's definitely going to be available at this spot, unless you get that one crazy person who takes him 106, which could happen.
Okay. Really? So we took Pitts. And
quick flip around.
We're on the 5th round, and Dobbins is still there for us. So we could take Dobbins as our running back 2. Or if you wanted to go wide receiver, which I usually don't,
I'd take a running back here.
Mike Evans or DK Metcalf.
No, I would take a running back here.
All right. Wow. So
that was my building blocks last year. My first 5 picks, and I'm going the same strategy this year. Thankfully, one of the two people probably aren't even listening to this in my league.
All right. So we went through this and we ended up with Herbert, Tannehill, Zeke, Dobbins, and Kyle Pitts.
That's a pretty good start.
That's pretty good start.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That.
And then just think about it too. In the contrary, you could have had Russell Wilson, Herbert, Antonio Gibson, Pitts. I mean, that's also a very, very good standout. I think Gibson's going to be a big time player this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to run this one more time, and let's do it with quarterback if it happens.
Yeah.
For us. Okay.
Where's Austin Eckler going in this?
I'll tell you when it comes up. McCaffrey, Mahomes, Allen, Murray, Cook, Dak, Rodgers in the first. Oh, we just missed Kelsey. All right. So we're in the same situation. We got Kamara, Henry, or Herbert. And we're going to take Herbert because that's what you said you wanted to do here.
I'm starting to see the trend here. I'm starting to see Herbert falling a lot. Yep. The spot.
Okay, so Russ Wilson it is. So we got Herbert, and we're starting Herbert Wilson.
Yeah.
And let's see what the third round reversal.
I mean, you think about it too. That's a 40, 50, 60-point spot every week. And then you just need the rest of your team to come together. You put up 140, 150 every week in Fishbowl, and you're in pretty good shape.
Okay, so we started Herbert and Russ Wilson.
Yep.
And now we have our choice of Aaron Jones or Austin Eckler as our running back.
Man, that's all. Right? I love that. I love that.
How beautiful is that?
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough choice, Eckler or Jones. That's honestly a big discussion right there.
Well, we're gonna take Jones just because we have
Herbert. Yes.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. So yeah, Jones in this situation.
But
problem is though, you have
Herbert
Jordan Love.
Could have been Dak. That could have been Dak. Dak falls to the 10 spot sometimes.
So
imagine going Dak, Russ, and then Eckler or Jones.
It's possible.
That's sexy.
Well, see, that's the thing too. I'm a little excited about. If I get my league, if you get a league with some people that are first-year players, they're not familiar with the league. They might let these quarterbacks fall, and they might be like, "Wow, look at these 5 running backs. I'm taking Henry. I'm taking Zeke here." And these quarterbacks slip because that's what happened in my league last year. The quarterbacks fell, and I benefited from it.
All right, Nick, you're gonna like how this played out. So we have Herbert and Wilson, or let's say, for my sake, it was Dak and Wilson. Then we took Aaron Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're up in the 4th round, and assume we don't want a wide receiver.
Nope.
We could choose from our running backs from Najee Harris, DeAndre Swift.
It's a no-brainer.
Joe Mixon.
I like this better.
No. Let me hear tight ends.
Antonio Gibson. CEH.
That's Gibson.
What
and
tight
this
ends
is our
are
RB2. Right?
This is incredible. I think we have our answer of our strategy right away here.
Right.
That's a home run.
Okay, so let's see how this goes. And we come back on the flip for the 5th.
Yeah. Yep.
Pigbird wants Harris.
Obviously. Yeah.
I want a better line in Pittsburgh before I take him over Gibson.
Okay. So here's where we're at. Now it gets to be a difficult situation. So we have we have Herbert or Dak. We have Russ Wilson. We have Aaron Jones and Antonio Gibson. Now on the table for us, and this is a hard one because I think I would do something different than what you guys will say. You could choose from, if you want a running back, you could have still DeAndre Swift or Joe Mixon. They're still available.
God. Mixon
or CEH. They're still available. If you wanted a wide receiver, you could have Allen Robinson or DK Metcalf. Or if you want a tight end, you could have Kyle Pitts. So do you want a 3rd running back?
It's Kyle Pitts It's Kyle Pitts or Swift.
Or do you
Mixon.
Or do you pair up DK with Wilson?
No. No shot.
That's what?
I'm taking Pitts.
Is that what you're gonna say? Is that what you're gonna say, Jeff?
No, because I have this mental block against wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it, but
I'm taking Pitts. Done. Pitts.
All right.
Final answer.
All right. So there's a question in the group chat. Nick, I'll let you answer this. Kyle Pitts versus Hawkinson, and you're saying Pitts first.
Mm-hmm. Because Jared Goff's the quarterback of the Detroit Lions, and I trust Matt Ryan a little more.
Easy.
Okay.
Pitts is wide receiver 2 in Atlanta. It's Ridley and then him. Russell Gage he's not going to do it.
For me also, it might be a league specific situation in the Scott Fishbowl. If you're trying to baseline and just be a 500 team and get into the playoffs and that's your goal, maybe it's Hawkinson, but Pitts is the play to win.
Going big, right? Go home.
That's your shot at winning the whole thing.
Yep.
Because you have to look at it like my team's going to get there, and what's it going to look like at the end of the season in week 13 plus, and by then you got to figure Pitts has got to be the guy by then.
I think there's a very good possibility 2 to 3 of us have Pitts on our team by the end of the Scott Fishbowl draft.
Yeah, that's looking good. I mean,
like
especially in round 5.
I love that. I love that draft you just did. I mean, you pair up 2 top quarterbacks, Jones and who's our other running back we took there? I just drew a blank.
Gibson.
That's incredible. That's an incredible start.
All right, so now back to us in the 6th, and now remember we don't have a wide receiver yet, so
this is where I would look.
We could start looking at it, and the top options are Lockett, Woods, Thielen, DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, Deontay Johnson, Cortland Sutton.
Woods.
All right, and we could probably take 2 of these guys because we whip around.
Woods and Lockett would be perfect.
Or we could look at double dipping on the tight end and getting somebody like Noah Fant in one of these 2 picks.
No.
Tight end premium scoring.
I think I would go Nick. Go Nick here.
Okay,
I'm taking my wide receiver.
Well, I'm saying both picks. I'm talking about both picks at the same time. So let's take Woods. It's a little, Woods. Lockett goes next. It's a fun little exercise. All right. So now we could take our pick between, and this is my wheelhouse, between Thielen, DJ Moore, and Cooper Kupp. This is where I live.
Well, we just took Woods, so we can't take Kupp.
Take Kupp out.
You can't take DJ Moore because Sam
Darnold's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Right. So you take Adam Thielen. You're going to take the floor there.
Thielen's your wide receiver too. That's a great pick.
Yeah. All right. So basically, and we'll stop.
It's a great build-up. It's a great build-up.
We'll stop
right there.
here because we could keep going. So we went QB, and went Herbert, Russ Wilson, or I said I wanted Dak. Aaron Jones, Antonio Gibson, Kyle Pitts, Woods, and Thielen. That's a
I love that.
Start.
I love that team. That's
start.
I think you just made my mind up my strategy. That's the perfect scenario.
That's why we're here, Nick. We're here to help you.
Now, see, two of your first 3 picks should be quarterbacks. Honestly, if you can get that stud running back in the middle there, I mean, I lost Eckler last year for half the season, and I still was able to bounce into where I was. But if you get that consistency from that second, if pick 2 is a running back or pick 3 is a running back, you get that consistency with a quarterback spot and 60 points a week. You're going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind about that.
All right, now we're only going through 6 rounds here, so we're not in the kicker range yet.
I was just thinking that.
I'm going to pick your brain on this because we looked at it, and I can't remember the names exactly, but some of the kickers.
There's 2 that stand out.
Yeah, Sanders was number 1, and the Asian kid from
Young Hoku, and then I'm a big Justin Tucker fan.
Right. So they basically were all in the top 100 of scoring.
2 field goals is a flex.
Are you considering a kicker as an every week starter, or are you going to just? For me, my plan with the kicker is, it's a 12-team league. There's going to be more than a dozen of these guys on the waiver wire. And if I need a fill in for a bye week, I'm just going to pick one up. Yeah,
that's going to be the thing. I mean, going to 0 wide receiver strategy might pay off to play a kicker in there. I mean, you're putting in your wide receiver 3-4, a kicker, Justin Tucker, 2 50-yard field goals, a 10-point game.
Right
off the bat. So, I mean, that's going to put out more than your wide receiver 3 or 4 possibly.
Right. That's what I was going to say. What's that?
How soon would you take one though?
I don't think I'm taking one early. Double digits. I wouldn't even touch one early. I'm building my foundation before I even touch kickers.
Even if you can get a Young Ho cheap, I mean, early.
If Young Ho falls to 8, if
you get some Young Ho's.
If he falls to 8-9, then maybe the 8-9 round.
Especially
maybe I'll
the
pick him
cheap
up.
ones.
Cheap young hose, you gotta go.
Yeah, late single digits. Maybe I'll look at it. Depends on the roster makeup. Because you got to keep in mind you need that third quarterback too before double digits.
Right. Oh, that's ugly. But do you?
If you
it's
take
super flex, and you could just pick up a kicker off the waiver wire to fill in for your quarterback on a bye week.
Yeah.
And maybe get 10, 15 points from him on a given week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's what I think. I think that Nick had a huge year last year in the fishbowl because he got that young quarterback that dominated, and he wasn't with Murray. I think this year's pick is going to be Justin Fields, and he's not going to play until October, but he's going to be a stud.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. And if I can get him in round 9, yeah, let's go.
That's a very, very good point. I mean, Andy Dalton's going to start week 1 and get absolutely crushed.
Yeah, he's going to get sacked 17 times.
It's going to be week 2 or week 3. He's out there, I think. They're Chicago. Good luck throwing out Dalton in Chicago. They're going to boom him off the field. Matt Nagy's going to get fired before week 2.
Okay, so let's say that you do take Fields and he's your quarterback 2, and you're probably going to get shut out in the quarterback 3.
No, I want him 3.
Quarterback 3.
Third. I'm going to go with our first 6 rounds, and then I'm going to look for Fields in the next couple of rounds. Take him before round 9. Okay. So I don't have to worry about him, and then when you guys start buying, he can come out and just dominate.
Hey, the more Chicago comes out and says he's not the starter, that's great news because he will be the starter.
So, Nick, if I remember, we start 10 players, right? Is that correct?
I believe so. Double check that, but I believe so.
Right, you're looking that up. So if it's 10 players and you build the core of 6 that are, basically stars.
Mm-hmm. You mix and match.
So if you want to take your third quarterback, and let's say it is Fields, in round 9, number 1, you don't want to go quarterback 1-2 if you're planning on taking Fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad investment.
Yeah.
Because you could have put Zeke on your team, knowing that Fields is going to be in your lineup at a later date, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than having Russ Wilson there.
11 total starts, 4 flexes.
So 4 flexes. So 6
key starters.
All right. So I'd say 8 is basically your baseline, and then you're going to have 3 that are kind of, roster decisions every week. So you might want a kicker. You might if you could get a kicker in round 12,
it's not
13,
bad. It's not bad.
That's going to be a weekly starter. I think that might work out.
And it's that gray area this year. People don't know the value of kickers. They're going to go all over the place. Every league's going to be different.
I hate them. I don't want to deal with it, man.
And what I'll be doing is what I did with TGFBI. You're going to be able to have access to every league, and you're just going to watch. All right, where's so and so going? Where's so and so going? And be able to gauge ADP because some leagues are going to be far ahead of others.
Right.
I do hear JetBlue has phenomenal Wi-Fi though.
That's very important.
Yeah, I do hear that. Important. So you should be good.
All right. Yeah. I especially since I'm in actual, not only am I in the Scott Fish Bowl, I'm in the Scott Fish League. He's in my league.
Yeah, you can't time him out.
You can't time out because he will kick you out. And
instantly.
Like he said that if you take the whole 8 hours in round 1, you don't want to be here. So, hit the road, Jack. And if you time out too often, it's 4. Is it 4? No, it is 8 hours.
I think it's 8.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him know up front, like, I'm flying away. Look at the shirt. Like gonna be on an airplane. My bad.
Yeah, look at that shirt.
Is he in your group chat? Is he responding to you guys?
Look at that shirt. That thing's ugly.
This is the Dolphins.
I know it is. It's even uglier.
I got another one for next week, man.
Oh boy.
All right. Nick, anything else on football before we get the hell out of here?
Mini camps are almost done. Redraft season's not here yet. We're in best ball season, and we are weeks away from fishbowl, so that is all we will be doing. And then once fishbowl's done, then we go in the redrafts, and we'll go from there. But right now, it's straight fishbowl.
Yep. Yeah. I got to say, we're looking at post July 5 to do to start on redraft because
I won't do any mocks until then, until this draft's over.
Thank you for containing yourself for us.
I know it's very hard, very difficult.
And just because July 4th is coming doesn't mean we're going to stop our baseball stuff either. All right, we're going to keep going with baseball stuff, like some other people might not listen to baseball anymore. But the only thing I have to add is how about those weekend warriors in Los Angeles? Ohtani and Walsh, home runs in 3 straight games together, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Outrageous. And he's going to Colorado. He's going to be in the home run derby.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful. When is that? It's probably when I'm in Jamaica.
Probably.
No, I think it's second week in July, I think, but in Colorado. So the last game for Trevor Story.
Siri, when is the home run derby?
Oh boy.
Really?
This is a millennial at his best.
It's spinning. Don't work. Don't work.
I will not answer this live.
Yeah, it didn't answer.
You have no answer for us?
Nope. Hold on. Home run derby. I'm spelling it wrong.
Oh Lord, it's been a long day. And everyone that's here watching, thank you for coming on 4th of July. I don't know who schedules these 4th of
Today
July
is
things.
not the 4th of July.
It's not the 4th of July. What the hell are you talking
You're right.
about?
It's Father's Day. My bad.
What
We're
the
talking
hell are you talking about?
I'm thinking about you going away and stuff. So,
jeez.
Thank you for being here on
my
Father's
brother.
Day.
So am I.
And I didn't drink.
All
July
right.
12th. July 12th.
Yeah, as I said.
July 12th. There you go. All right. So that's after I get back. That's on a Monday. So I think we'll be back on Wednesdays by that point, to be honest with you. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Whatever. The hell with it. Let's get the hell out of here. He's at Mimi. This guy is at AMAC22NJ. I'm Jay Trella 20. Trevor, as always, thanks for all you do. I should have thanked you at the top of the hour, but I appreciate it. Let's take us out of here. Guys, peace, man. Happy Father's Day to all you.
See you later. Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, guys. Peace.